Okay, this video is for the 3.8 homework, but we're going to start with the calculator tips. So we're still doing parallel and perpendicular lines today. Now we're looking at more than just horizontal and vertical, though. So there is a calculator hack if they're multiple choice. And so it says, what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point 1, -1 and is parallel to the line represented by y equals negative 5x minus 5? So we've got these answer choices. So parallel lines are going to have the same slope. So if you get a question like this and it's multiple choice, the first thing you do is eliminate any answer choices that don't have the same slope. So what's the slope of this line? -5. So same slope, different slope. So C is out. C can't be our answer choice. All right, so now to check it in your calculator. So we're going to go to the graphs in your calculator. So always start fresh, X out. This one right here is the graph we're going to use. So we're going to type the first answer choice into F1, which is where it's blinking at right now. So we're going to do -5x minus 4. And then we're going to hit the down arrow key, this one right here. And it's going to give you the next input line. And we're going to do the next answer choice or whatever's left on that line. So all of these lines are parallel. This one, this one, and this one, they're all parallel. What we're looking for, though, is which one of these answer choices goes through this point. So once we graph them, we can pull the table up. Control T is how you pull this table up. And we know the X value is 1. And so if you look at this column, this is that blue line. This is the first one, the -5x minus 4. If we look where X is 1, Y is -9. We need it to be -1. So A is out. If you press that right arrow again, it'll go to the next line. -5x plus 4. That's the second one we typed in, and that's color-coded. That one has the right ordered pair. X is 1, Y is -1. So if they give you multiple choice, all you got to know is the slope is the same, and your calculator will do everything else for you. So perpendicular is a little bit different, and there's 2 sheets for this one, and I'll show you how to glue them in. Perpendicular slopes are negative reciprocals. So this is how you find a negative reciprocal, but let's look at the question first. So what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the point 2, -2 and is perpendicular to the line represented by y equals 2/7 x minus 1? So first thing we do is we find the negative reciprocal of 2/7 using calculator tip that should say, sorry that I didn't get that fixed. It's calculator tip 11. It's the second page of this. Okay. So we need to find the negative reciprocal of 2/7. So here's how we do it. So from the home screen, we're going to go to the calculator. This one right here. All right, we are going to type in parentheses. Let's do it this way. And I should have changed the value on this. I just want to look really quick and make sure I'm telling you right. All right, we're going to do, here's what we're going to type in is negative and then open parentheses, our slope, and then we're going to raise it to the power of -1. So we're going to do negative, open parentheses, put in a fraction, 2/7. And then to bump this up high, it's this key right here. Right next to the left of the 4, you've got an x squared, and then you got a little arrow up, little caret top. If you push that, it bumps your cursor up high. And up there, you can type a -1. -1 up here is going to flip the fraction for you. Putting the negative out front is going to change the sign. So our negative reciprocal, the slope we're looking for, is negative 7 over 2. So any of those lines that don't have that slope, negative 7 over 2, like answer choice A, they're out. So now it's the same process. We're going to type our answer choices into the graph and pull up the table and look for that point. So I'm going to close this one out. I'm going to go to a graph. So I'm going to type this first one in, negative 7 over 2, x minus 5. Press the down arrow key, and it'll give you the next input line. And then negative 7 over 2, x plus 5. So both of those lines are going to be perpendicular to this one, but only one of them is going to go through that point. So we can pull the table up, and this time our x value is 2. So if I go to where x is 2, on this line, the y value is negative 12. I need a negative 2. So I can press the right arrow key and go to my other line, and that ordered pair matches up. So again, if you can kind of remember the main features of parallel and perpendicular lines, the calculator will do the rest for you. Okay, so parallel lines, same slope. Perpendicular lines, the slopes are negative reciprocals. And then if it's neither, they're not the same and they're not negative reciprocals. So if they're in slope-intercept form, this is not too bad. Okay? So y equals 3x minus 7 and y equals 3x plus 1. What are the slopes here? 3. It's just 3. Yeah. So the slopes are the same. So these are going to be parallel. So we're going to do parallel lines, yellow. All right. This next one, I got a slope of negative 2/5 and I got a slope of 2/5. Are they the same? No, negative and positive aren't the same. Are they negative reciprocals? No, because one has to flip. So the signs are different, but for them to be negative reciprocals, this one would have to be 5 over 2. So that means they're neither. We don't touch it. Slope here is negative 1/4. So negative 1/4. To find the reciprocal, we flip the fraction on its head. So it would be 4 over 1, and then we change the sign. If it's negative, then it's positive. So 4 over 1 will simplify to a 4. So negative 1/4 and 4 are negative reciprocals. Okay, standard form. If they're in standard form, you can find the slope without converting the whole thing. We do negative a over b to find the slope. So this is a, this is b. So negative a would be negative 2, b is 7. So if we do this one, negative a would be a negative 7, b is a negative 2. But what happens on a fraction if the top and the bottom are both negative? They cancel. So technically that's positive 7. Positive 7 over 2. So is negative 2/7 and positive 7 over 2, are those negative reciprocals? Yes. If it starts with y equals, the slope is whatever is in front of the x. So the slope here is a negative 5. So this is standard form. So I have to do negative a over b. What's my a value here? 1. Remember, there's a hidden 1 there. So that would be negative a, so negative 1 over b. B is a negative 5. So negative 1 over negative 5 is just 1/5. So is negative 5 and positive 1/5, are those negative reciprocals? Okay. Negative 5 as a fraction is negative 5 over 1. Flip the fraction on its head, change the sign. So if this one's negative, this one's positive. So negative 5 and positive 1/5, are those negative reciprocals? Okay. Use that calculator tip if you're not sure on reciprocals. All right, standard form again. So negative a would be a negative 3 over b would be a 2. So the slope of this first line is negative 3 over 2. Second line, negative a would be a negative 2 over b would be a 3. Negative 3 over 2 and negative 2 over 3, are those negative reciprocals? Nope. And the giveaway, if they're both negative, they're not. They have to be one of each sign. So that one's neither. They're not the same. They're not reciprocals. All right. Y equals negative 4x minus 1. So this one's slope-intercept form. So my slope for this one is a negative 4. Standard form, negative a over b. So a is an 8. So negative 8 over 2. What will that one simplify down to? So what kind of lines are these? They're parallel. Slope is the same. All right. X plus y equals 7. So standard form again. What's the a value here? 1. What's the b value? So what does that simplify to? All right. The next one. What's the a value for the next line? What's the b value? So what does that simplify to? Negative 1. So they're not the same because the signs are different. Are they negative reciprocals? 1 and negative 1 are negative reciprocals. It's the only one where one of the two is not going to be a fraction. Okay. All right, slope-intercept form again. So the slope of this one is a third. All right. Standard form, so negative a over b. What's the a value here? 1. What's the b value? Oh, negative a. I'm sorry.
So were we supposed to do negative a on the other one?
Which one?
The one with that we just did.
This one?
Yes.
We should have. We should have, and I didn't. It would still come out the same.
Okay.
They would have just been flipped. This one would have been a negative 1. This one would have been a positive 1. So sorry, guys. Negative a. Make sure you make that first number negative. So what does negative 1 over negative 3 simplify to? Positive 1 over 3. What kind of lines are these? They're parallel, same slope. Okay, I'm going to work the very last two. X equals 4 and x equals 6, negative 6. What kind of slope does an x equals line have? Look at that little half sheet that I gave you yesterday. What does the slope of an x equals line? What is it? Slope. Undefined. So an x equals line has an undefined slope. So that means this x equals has an undefined slope. So if both slopes are undefined, are they parallel or are they perpendicular? Perpendicular. They're going to look like this. Actually, I can show you on a graph, on a Desmos graph. So let me actually show you this on Desmos. So x equals 4, x equals -6. Zoom out a little bit. Here's x equals 4. Here's x equals -6. They're parallel. All right, so what is the slope of an x equals line? So what's the slope of a y equals line?
0. I thought you said it was perpendicular.
Parallel. This is parallel.
You said
I'm sorry. If they're both undefined, if the slope is the same, they're parallel.
No! Can I just color in between my X yellow?
I probably won't even take a second glance at that one. Sorry. All right, this last one. If x equals is undefined and y equals is 0, those will be perpendicular. So 0 and undefined are the negative reciprocals of each other. All right, that leaves you 7. If you start getting twisted, let me know. Let me help, okay? More than happy to check when you get done. If you